Nobody else come in, we still started, okay? Now, 6 o'clock, and I'll open the meeting up at 6. And what I want to do first is has everybody read the minutes of July 20th? July 20th minutes, do y'all have that? So y'all approve. I would ask somebody to approve the minutes. Okay. Mayor, you got the minutes on? All right, sir. Do what, sir?
Go ahead. I've got the minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, we'll go ahead with the meeting, and if everybody's satisfied with what was that, July 20th to the last meeting? I got a hand up, that means yes, David?
I was gonna make a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
Okay, I got a second by Mr. Whitaker. All approve of that? Okay, it sounds like me, it's unanimous. So the minutes cleared the board, and we'll go to the second thing on the agenda, review minutes from July 20th. Does anybody want to say anything on the minutes? Mayor, you want to? Anybody, David?
No, sir.
Sir?
No, I have nothing to say.
Okay. So nobody wants to speak on the minute, July 20th meeting, huh? Okay, so we'll go to the next thing, is the third thing on the agenda for tonight would be to elect officers of the Solid Waste Committee. And I want to pause here just for a second and tell y'all that I appreciate David, you were carrying on the meetings for me while I was out in the hospital. And last meeting night, I was here for the first time in 3 months. So that couldn't be helped. Well, anybody can fall, and I fell and wound up going to rehab out here at Hartsville rehab place, and they kept me a pretty good while. So they got me in shape where I can get back out, talk to anybody, and go anywhere I want to, and do whatever I want to, if I can do it. Now, I can't do everything right yet because of being, I still got a cane. In other words, you got a cane, you use it. You don't let it lay it up and just forget it. That cane's important to me and would be anybody else. So I appreciate them doing that. And as I said, I appreciate all the meetings that was carried on. I appreciate all the meetings that was carried on here when I wasn't here, and I could not help it because I wasn't. And if I could have helped it, I would have been at the meeting, but I couldn't make it. David, what you got to say?
All right, I was gonna make a motion to leave the officers like they are.
Okay, I got a first by David Honor, second by Mr. Whitaker, that the officers stay the same. All in favor of that? Everybody did everybody did everybody agree to that? Okay, so the officers are still the same as they were last year, and I appreciate y'all's concern there. And we've got, I believe, 2 or 3 people out tonight that's on this committee, according to the one I got wrote up for the convention right there on the board. I was out there this morning and I called Mr. Whitaker from that one. But there was some more on there I couldn't get. And I couldn't get Mary Ann Baker, not Mary Ann. Oh, by the way, let me say this too. Mary Ann Baker's not here tonight because she talked to me earlier this afternoon and her mother is sick and she said, I'll try to get there. If I can't, my mother's still sick. So she's not here, so her mother is still sick. I said that to say this. I thought of that. Now, like I forgot it, and I didn't need to. And Mary Ann Baker, she's a good member and she does a good job of what she does and tries to get everything out ready for us to do and stuff like that. And she needs to be recognized for something like that. And when people do that, they need to be recognized and not forgot about. You know, sometimes people get recognized and forgot, but that's not good. Don't forget, just keep on doing it. That's what I say. And anyway, that's my point on the bill. And I called Beverly Atwood. I could not get to her, and I called three times, I guess it was. I couldn't get her, but she said something, but I don't know what it was. It was in a language that she wasn't speaking Mexican or nothing, but I didn't understand what she said neither time. So I said, okay, be here if you can. And she finally said, okay. She don't talk much anyway. She's a quiet girl and that's understood. So sometimes we miss out on what she's telling us or saying to us, you know, because of that. Other than that, we just don't understand. I guess that's what it is. So look at the proper view of things and put everything in order. I think that's the main thing. We just don't understand some people's ways, and some of these college people like her has got a little days on her. She's probably ring circles around us anyway. So, you know, just let her talk, and if I don't understand her, I'll ask her again. That's what I do. So that's she ain't here, so that's the way it is. All right. Now we got the authors took care of discussion items. We are going with number 4, says discussion item, and we'll take A, B, and C and D as they're worded there. So anyone got any discussion on A or B or C discussion there?
We really let Mr. Cliff get up and talk to us now.
Do what now?
Mr. Cliff needs to get up and talk to us now.
Well, yeah, he would, I guess he should be number 1. So, Mr. Cliff, you got anything to say on A, B, C, and D?
Yes, sir. I've got a few things to say. One of them that we're talking about tonight is a surplus of these vehicles that we have. Some of them are a little bit up in age. All of them are well used beyond our use and repair. We can start and go down the list. The 85 GMC service truck, the front end is completely out from under it. It's basically unserviceable from our part. It's just too dangerous to drive. The next one is a 99 Isuzu Hombre. We've had 2 of these as long as I've been here, and we've had them break down here and there and getting harder to find the parts that we wanted without paying a new price for them. So we've started stripping one to keep the other one going, and it's going good, but we've got to start turning loose of some of these things that we're collecting, and this is one of them that we'd like to turn loose of. The 2005 Ford Ranger, we lost the engine in it last year. The 2006 F-150, we've had it in the shop several times. It's got O2 sensors bad, the exhaust system's bad on it. The catalytic converters need to be replaced. There's several things that are wrong with the truck that it's just too unpredictable. We've done a lot of work to it, but it's just getting to where it's costing more and more to keep the truck up. The 93 GMC is a donor vehicle from the water department from several years ago. They gave us 3 of them. One of them was sold for scrap several years ago. These other 2, we've took 2 and made a good truck that we use around the park and around town. It's a spray truck. It's a 3/4 ton truck, so it holds the water tank. We do all the spraying with that truck. We've took the doors off the other one, we've took the seat out of the other one, we've took the steering out of the other one. Several things have come out of the truck. The engine is down in the truck that's, we've stripped, and torque converters out in it. So we're gonna scrap it. The next one is a 94 Mack front loader trash truck. It's a running operable truck. We've kept it for years as a backup to the backup truck, but it's set out there for 6 or 7 years now. The tires have gone flat, the batteries have gone off of it. We've picked a mirror or two here and there off of it. It's not beyond getting it going again, but it's really unsafe for the road. The body itself has seen so much leachate that it's beyond repair, I would say. If not, we'd spend several $1,000s in metal and welding, having it repaired. The next one on the list is the 94 Volvo. We just had a new tipper put on it before we bought this new automated truck, the Sidewinder that we got in 2013. We're going to remove that and a couple other things off of the truck and sell it for scrap. And then that 96 Mack roll-off truck, it was purchased new here from the county, I believe, but it's gone through 2 seats since I've been here, and we've put a cable on it. We've done quite a bit of work to it, but it's, again, one of those trucks that was a backup to the backup, and it's just sat there for so many years now. The tires are rotting off of it. The batteries have been picked, a mirror, a horn, certain things we've robbed off of it to put on different vehicles, and it's just, it's time we started getting rid of some of this stuff. It's building up.
Y'all heard Mr. Cliff talk. David,
Mr. Chairman, I think I will make a motion we accept this and to be sold or for scrap or whatever, these vehicles. I make a motion to do that.
okay, before I accept your motion, I want to ask the mayor if he's got anything else to add to that.
No, sir.
Okay, he didn't have anything else to add, so I figure it's in order that he do.
I've
that.
got one more thing that's not on this list that we kind of like to talk about. I really want to push it back a little bit. We do have an 84 Ford 555 backhoe that was donated by the highway department several years ago, before my time. The motor, I believe, is still good in it. It's been sitting for well over 10 years now, but it's been covered up. The motor has. Bill's got a tractor out there that's got a boom axe on it. We're maybe going to try to rob this motor and put on that boom axe tractor. If not, we'll definitely sell the backhoe at auction. It won't be sold for scrap because the clutch is slipping and the hydraulics are a little slow. All the hoses need to be replaced. It's just one of those things that it's gotten beyond our repair that, you know, we'd go way upside down on this machine trying to fix it. So if we can't rob that motor and put it on Bill's backhoe, we would like to put it on Gov Deals.
Okay.
That'd be fine with me to put that on if he needs to on the motion.
Okay. David's made a motion, repeat that so everybody know what you said.
I'll make a motion that all these vehicles that he's got for scrap are to be sold, and then also on the backhoe, if it comes up later, to go ahead and do with it what he wants to go ahead and sell it or scrap it, whatever he needs to do.
Okay, y'all heard all this read, and David has made the motion that all this that was read be scrapped and sold for scrap. Do I have a second? I got a second, Corey Dickey, David Nodler, all in favor? Sound like me, everybody voted for it, said yeah, aye, so they are up for scrap now. So that's what he wanted. Them trucks have been sitting out there for a long time, and he's been doing what he's got to do with, and that ain't a lot with 2 or 3 trucks sitting around not running and won't run and stuff like that. Just you got to park them after a while. So just like anything else. So they're up for scrap now. So anything else that we got to discuss on A, B, and C?
Mr. Chairman, for C, we've got some things dealing with Title VII and then those items 1 and 2. If you don't mind, I'll go ahead and start speaking on that, and then Mr. Slee can elaborate on a couple of them. The Title 17 refuse, this is has not been altered much since we went to metropolitan government in 2001. There was a rate change in 2017, and the code was not updated, because if you see section 17-109 does have rates in there, but those rates were changed in 2017, so we need to update that. That doesn't require any action of the committee. We can go ahead and do that since it's already passed county commission, but Mr. Slee and I are going to look through this and work with the county attorney, make some suggestions and changing the language and try to bring it up to modern language and standards. And then speaking of the rate increase, this last fiscal year, the Urban Services Solid Waste had a deficit of a little over $53,000. So your expenditures were $53,000 more than the revenue we took in. And as part of the solid waste audit we discussed back in July, there was a discussion of looking at increasing that Urban Services trash fee. And this kind of feeds into item D below, but the consultant at the time said that she could help us put out an RFP and also look at and evaluate what that fee should be. But basically, we could put out an RFP to look at contracting out those services and just get a quote on what it would be to contract that out, and then compare that on what our fee would be if we were going to keep doing that service ourselves to do away with that deficit. Again, can't tell you exactly what that new fee should be. We're not asking for any action on that tonight as far as approving any fee increase right now. Just bring it to committee, let you know this is something we're looking at in the future due to having that deficit. And it's been a deficit that's continued for several years, so that hasn't gone away. I'll turn over, Mr. Slee wants to say anything on that item number 1, which is the rate increase for trash services. I think he's got some for his some dumpsters or something he wants to address as well.
Okay, the biggest things we want to talk about is what Ms. Caldwell brought up the last time she was here. I know the dumpster rentals, as far as the roll-offs, the big 40-yard roll-off containers, right now we're at $150 a month, and they're allowed a 2-ton minimum in those cans. They pay for the 2 tons up front, and anything over that we take to the landfill. We just charge them the actual tipping fee that what we're paying. So we're picking these cans up and hauling them all over the place, picking and delivering, paying the tipping fees, and basically for free. I mean, it's costing me more to operate. I've talked to Becky a time or two, and I think it's in her language on her report that we bumped the fee to $325. She didn't, I think she left the days open-ended. Most of them we checked with were 2 weeks, 10 days. We saw some at 10 days, some at 2 weeks. And what I'd like to ask for tonight is we get that rate up to $325 for 2 weeks and start charging $45 a ton. So we'll make a little bit on hauling the garbage, because we're charging them exactly what we're paying at the landfill. So we're upside down on these every time we send them out. And it's not just contractors that are renting them. We've got 3 out in the county right now that are actually at homeowners. They're cleaning their house out. They're cleaning a barn out. They're doing a remodel themselves. I don't know if you want to consider kind of looking at it different from individual contractors. And I don't know how you could do that, but you take a farmer that's just trying to clean his barn out versus somebody that's building a $500,000 house. I don't know if you could justify it one way or the other, but that's one thing that I wanted to talk about tonight. Another thing is I believe we've got the resolution in place, or at least it was talked about, that the homeowners be responsible for the trash carts here in town, whether they're lost, stolen, damaged, caught on fire. We've had a couple of people throw hot charcoal in them and melt them. And they just call and say, we need a new can. We don't replace them. If we can, we'll repair it, and try to help them any way we can to get the can back up to where it's usable, and keeping the animals out of it, keeping the garbage out of the streets is our biggest thing. So I think I'd like to get that in a resolution to where we can, or an ordinance anyway, where we can get that a little bit more backbone in it, saying that, there's no way we can pay for these things. And another thing that I want to talk about is rerouting the city route. Right now, we're running 5 days a week. It's a couple hours on Monday and it's a couple hours on Friday. We still may have to get out one day, maybe both days, just to come down to service the businesses. We're talking about 30, 45 minutes. If we could combine more of the urban or the home areas into those 3 days in the middle of the week, maybe we can get the routes running 3 days, and that would give that truck not necessarily a day off, but it would give the driver a day to be doing other things with the roll-offs at the convenience center, servicing the prison, serving these roll-off rentals out in the county and things like that. That's about all I have I want to talk about.
Coy,
I have a question for you. Now, how did you collect your money? Through the water company, or is it on a water bill, or is it?
The household garbage is collected through the water bill. The roll-offs and the garbage is billed, we mail out a bill. The roll-off rentals, they actually come in and pay for the rental before we deliver the can. So what they'll pay for is $150 up front plus 2 tons of garbage up front.
any more questions from Mr. Cliff? Larry, you got any questions?
No, I can answer any questions. And again, I kind of fed into item D here. If you don't mind, I think Mr. Slee was looking for some action on that dumpster rental for the roll-off rental prices. I think, Cliff, if I'm right on that, you were looking to raise the price. Right now, it's $150 for 30 days. You were looking to go to $325 for 14 days or 2 weeks, and then raise the price per ton from the minimum landfill rate, which I believe right now is $37, to go up to, is it $45 per ton?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's an action item Mr. Slee's asking the board to, I guess, decide on, and maybe hopefully vote to recommend it to the county commission or discuss a little bit more, so we can answer questions on that if you want.
Hey,
I make a motion to approve that,
okay.
what he just said.
What Mr. Cliff talked about and what the mayor just said, I have got a motion by David Noller to accept that. Do I have a second? Mr. Whitaker raises his hand.
I second that because I don't think it's safe, especially the contract saying. And you're not putting a burden on people that can't really do it. And I second that.
Well, he's probably right. There'll be some people that wouldn't be able to take care of that. And that's, I'm glad he brought it up where people would understand that if as that case appears, which it probably will, then it's something that we can't help, is just deal with it, you know? That's the only thing that I see. And I think he sees that too. So I've got a motion and second to accept this, and all in favor? Okay, everybody has accepted it, and we'll go on to the next item here. Okay?
Yeah, that's going to be this next item right here. Title 17, there was a resolution passed in 2013, and it is in your packet. I believe it's the second to last page. It says 2013-24-327. The last item says replacement cost of county-owned trash cart, parentheses, door-to-door urban services, in parentheses, must be paid by the property owner, and it says parentheses, rentals included, in parentheses. When we did the solid waste audit, one of the recommendations was having the renters pay for any damages or replacement of the of the trash cart. We looked and that was done in a resolution in 2013. However, a resolution is not a law, that's just a statement. And so we'd ask that the committee would maybe recommend to the county commission to put that in the ordinance, and that would be an amendment to Title 17 to put that provision in there.
Any further discussion? Any question for the mayor?
Motion to move that forward to full body.
Do what now? Who made
Motion to approve that. So then we can move to the full body, change it from a resolution to an ordinance.
Okay, Bill Ferguson made the motion that move it to the full body. And I expect that's what we need to do. We can't just do it on our own, but we take it before the full body and get their approval, and then we could do what we can do with what we got to do with, okay? That's me. David?
I second that motion.
All right, I got a second. Bill Ferguson, I think, made the motion, and second by David Noner. All in favor? Okay, everybody seems to be interested and seems to want that, so that passes too. Anything else?
Yes, so the last item I have is the consultant we had to come in and do the solid waste audit has offered to help us review our urban services rate issue, and then also help us prepare what would essentially be a request for proposal to send out to private companies to ask what they would charge to provide the same service. I have, if you give me just a moment, I got it here somewhere. Some of the services she's offered to provide would be a draft bid specifications for residential curbside solid waste recycling services. So it'd just be developing all the information that needs to go in the RFP, compile a list of our materials that are generated, so all our trash is generated and how it's processed, whether it's landfilled or recycled, define what services, frequency and method of service delivery, or other details that the county wants from potential contract service providers. Then present a complete draft of bid specifications for residential curbside solid waste and recycling services. She would also create a list of potential bidders and then contact them and share the information with them for potential bidders via email. She'd share copies to us. Also, she would help us review any bid responses we receive, organize any information that we may need, and then offer feedback and answer questions on those responses. There is a fee for this, so the fee would be $3,500. It'd be $2,000 upon receive the invoice when she's first retained, and then after everything's done and the process is completed, it'd be another $1,500. So that'd be $3,500. And what that is to help us as we're going in the next budget year to look at what we would need, what the cost to the county would be to provide these services, and what any new urban services trash fee may need to be addressed or adjusted to address our current deficit, and then compare that to what a private contractor would charge for the same service, and then make the decision, bring it back to this committee, make a decision which way we want to go, whether we want to increase fees or if we want to possibly look at contracting out the service. We did put recycling in there. That has been something that the state is pushing to increase your recycling, and I've had several residents that are here in the urban services ask us about doing door-to-door recycling. So we're putting that in there as well to try to see what the cost would be if we're wanting to go that route.
Okay. Y'all heard your mayor speak. Any questions, Brian? So I need a vote. I need somebody to make a motion. If nobody's got a question for him, we gotta pass this thing legally, like, so. Do I have a motion that we pass this? David, you got one?
I was gonna make a motion that we not do anything with it tonight on that. Maybe look at it a little longer and then do it maybe next time we have a meeting.
Well, we have more time to study it, I imagine, if you're putting it off to the next meeting, or next solid waste meeting. And then bring it before the full body, get it passed or not passed, whatever. So I kind of agree with you, David. I kind of agree with you. David made a motion that we put this off to next solid waste meeting, not the full body, the solid waste meeting, and bring it back up again, then take it to the full body. That's what David, that's the motion David made. Y'all in favor? Everybody in favor of that?
You would still need a second. I'd also ask, when's that next meeting gonna be? Because we start doing budget. We start looking at it in January and we gotta have it all put together, I believe, by March 1st, I believe is when we gotta have the worksheets out to the departments and start getting them back. So this is something we need to start looking at soon. So when's the next, do we not have any idea when the next meeting is gonna be scheduled for? And I believe Mr. Dickey had a second on that.
Okay. David, you still make that motion?
Yeah. When I said next meeting would probably be January, early part of January.
Well, it should be. It sounds like it should be.
Yeah,
So we have to call a meeting in January.
I give us time to look at this a little bit more.
Right. First,
I'm not excited about all of it.
so the first week in January, we need to call a meeting, get this thing on the road, what we need to do.
All right.
So we'll call a meeting sometime the first week of January to get this thing on the road and working, okay? Yeah. Anything else on that?
I still need to have a vote, Mr. Chairman.
Huh?
We still need to do a vote. There was a motion and a second. You still need to have a vote on it.
Well, who second?
Mr. Dickey,
David made the motion, Mr. Whitaker made the second, and everybody else said, shook their head, yes, I see them. Bill Ferguson even shook his head, so, okay. I mean, I just throw that out there, but he did. So, okay, now, okay, the first week in January, there'll be a call meeting of the Solid Waste Committee, bringing this subject right here up. The main topic would be that, what we just talked about. I mean, it's good to, if you got anything else to bring up, it needs to be wrote down or something. But this right here needs to be number one thing that's worked out in January meeting. All right, sir. Well, I'll give it later, okay? I'll get it to you, but it'll be the first week in January. I will get it to you. That way we can get the things working for this, get everything under control and make things better. I mean, things, you know, there's a lot of things need to be made better. That's not better. It could be. That's me. And that's my opinion. So that's not being smart enough. That just see it and you see it and it's there. You can't help it. What do you do about it? So do something about it. And you won't have to worry about looking at it when you go out the door, or there it is. There's the problem. Nothing, it'll be over. That's the way I see things. And yeah, David.
I think we still need to vote on it. We ain't had the vote yet.
Well, we're going to.
Okay,
We're going to. Anybody else got anything to say? All right, David, who made the second? David made the motion. Who? Mr. Whitaker? Mr. Whitaker seconded it. All in favor? Okay, everybody passed it. So that meeting still goes in January. And I'll get with every one of you on the phone. If I call you, I call most of y'all anyway. And instead of looking you up, I can just call you on the phone And I'll either call you on the phone or look you up and tell you what date the meeting will be. And everybody we come to the call meeting and make it work, okay? Or at least work on it, try to make it work. So that's the only thing I know. But anyway, we can do that. What else we got? Well, you got anything else?
No, sir.
Huh?
No, I believe that's it. I don't have anything else. Do you have anything, Cliff?
Cliff, you got anything else?
No, sir.
Cliff ain't got nothing else. The mayor ain't got nothing else. So it appears that we have finished this sheet right here. I'm gonna close it out at, I guess maybe at 6. It's 6:36. Anybody else got anything? Go ahead.
I got a question. Did the meeting finish?
Huh?
Are you through?
As far as I know,
I want to adjourn.
huh?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, at 6:35. Carl Dickey made the motion that we adjourn with all of the things in people's mind that were discussed. And especially January meeting, we're bringing this other stuff up to get that worked out. And we'll need to bring that before the full body too after we get it worked out, okay? Sir?
Oh.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
yes, sir.